Welcome to our Toronto, and today we are going to take a look at the history of the TTC's 96 Wilson bus route. So the 96 Wilson bus route can trace its origins back to July 1, 1954. So, as part of the TTC's mandate to provide transportation services within the boundaries of the new municipality of Metropolitan Toronto, service began on the TTC's new Wilson bus on this date, replacing the Danforth bus line's Wilson-Weston service. Buses operate from Glen Echo Loop at the end of the Yonge trolley bus via northwest on Yonge Boulevard and west on Wilson to Weston Road and south on Weston Road to Loop at Oak Loop, returning via the reverse route. Transfer privileges are permitted between the Wilson bus and North Yonge, Armour Heights, Bathurst, Dufferin, Keele, Trethewey and Weston Road. Passengers may also transfer to Woodbridge, Grey Coach, and the Yonge trolley bus, paying an extra fare. Buses operate out of Parkdale Garage, 7 days a week, 18 hours a day. Additional rush hour service and Sunday evening service is provided between Glen Echo Loop and Bathurst Street. November 28, 1955. Additional rush hour short-turn service operated between Glen Echo and Jane Street, with 6 trips in the morning rush hour and 5 trips in the afternoon rush hour. Initially buses loop via north on Epic Lane and west on William Cragg and south on Jane to Wilson to route. This was changed at an unknown date to looping in the plaza parking lot. On July 26, 1959 during rush hours, certain Wilson buses are scheduled to operate over the extended portion of the route previously served by the 57 North Main bus service. These vehicles do not enter Blondine Loop, but proceed directly north on Main Street, east on Bradstock Road, north on Habitant Drive and west on Damask Avenue to Main Street. Buses return via on Main Street, southeast on Blondine Avenue, with a stop at the Loop exit for transfer and zone fare collection, and east on Wilson Avenue over the present routing. September 5, 1961. On this date, the Northern Loop is expanded. Buses now to the Weston, Shepherd intersection and then loop via east on Shepherd, north on Rivalda Road, west on Bradstock, and north and west Habitant Drive to Weston Road, returning via south on Weston to route. This new service is provided during the daytime, Mondays through Saturdays. Note that this branch is cut back to Blondine Loop. To continue on to Yonge Street, passengers have to transfer to buses operating on the 96 main branch at Blondine Loop. This is done because, at the time, the boundary between suburban fare zones 2 and 3 passed through Blondine Loop. Passengers wishing to continue their trip had to pay an additional fare at Blondine. February 1, 1962. Suburban fare zones 2 and 3 are combined into one, leaving Metropolitan Toronto covered by only 2 fare zones within the boundaries of Metropolitan Toronto, and eliminating the zone boundary at Blondine Loop. September 4, 1962. The Habitant Drive service is extended north on Weston Road to serve the Finch Gardens area. Buses operate on Weston Road to Finch, looping via west on Finch, south on Rumikay Road, east on Lindyloo Road and north on Jazel Drive to Finch, returning east to Weston Road and south to Wilson. The service is also extended east of Blondine Loop via the regular route of Wilson Avenue and Yonge Boulevard to Glen Echo Loop. September 1, 1963. The portion of the 96 Wilson bus that operates between Glen Echo and Blondine is extended to Martin Grove to serve the growing Rexdale area, replacing the 80 Rexdale bus. Buses operate from Glen Echo Loop via Yonge Boulevard and Wilson to Blondine Loop, and then via north on Weston, northwest on Albion, west on Elmhurst Drive, Hinton Road, Harefield Drive, Brookmere Road and West Humber Boulevard, looping via south on Delsing, west on Porterfield and north on Martin Grove to West Humber. Note that on all eastbound trips, buses will operate via Weston Road and Blondine Avenue to Wilson to accommodate passengers at Blondine Loop. This service and the 96A, Finch Gardens, Rumikay service will be operated all day, 7 days a week. Free transfers are available to all buses operating within Zone 2, with additional fares required to connect with Zone 1 services at Glen Echo. On or before this day, the rush hour short-turn service to Jane is discontinued. January 23, 1966. Coincident with the opening of the new Queensway garage located at Kipling and Evans, all Wilson buses are now based out of Queensway. A new branch is established to provide service to Kipling only when buses are leaving or entering service. September 5, 1971. Service is extended beyond Martin Grove to Humber College. Buses operate from Glen Echo Loop via northwest on Young Boulevard, west on Wilson Avenue, west on Blondine Avenue, north on Weston Road, northwest on Albion Road, west and north on Elmhurst Drive, west on Hinton Road, north on Harefield Drive, northwest on Elmhurst Boulevard, west on Brookmere Road, west on West Humber Boulevard, north on Martin Grove, west and north on John Garland Boulevard, west on Humber College Boulevard, north on Highway 27, west on Finch, south and east on Humber College, looping in the new off-street loop located at the west end of the college grounds. Buses loop counterclockwise and return via the reverse route. The earlier looping via Delsing Drive, Porterfield Road and Martin Grove is discontinued. The new service operates 7 days a week, 18 hours a day. September 3, 1972. A new rush hour branch extends service from the 96A, Rumike, branch via north on Weston Road past Finch, running northwest and west on Toryork Drive, south on Milvan Drive and east on Finch to Weston, returning south on Weston to Glen Echo. This looping is reversed during the afternoon rush hour. Rush hour service on Rumike is discontinued. March 31, 1973. Coincident with the opening of the Young Subway extension to York Mills, all Wilson buses operate directly to the subway on Wilson Avenue and the new Wilson Avenue extension. Service on Young Boulevard is provided by the new 97A Young branch. March 30, 1974. As the off-street loop at Humber College is no longer available for TTC service, the looping of the Humber College branch is revised to operate via west on Humber College Boulevard, stopping across from the old loop, then continuing west on Humber College Boulevard looping via east on Carrier Drive, south on Woodbine Downs and west on Finch Avenue and south on Humber College Boulevard to route. No change to destination signs or schedule. March 15, 1976. With the opening of the new Wilson Garage, the present 96C, Kipling, Shore TUNR service is no longer required and is discontinued. All Wilson service is transferred to the new Wilson Garage. January 28, 1978. Coincident with the opening of the Spadina subway, all buses operate through Wilson Station in both directions. There is no other change to the Humber College or Rumike branches. 96B Milvan Drive rush hour buses are cut back to Wilson Station from York Mills. A new short-turn service is established between Wilson Station and Islington, looping via west and north on Elmhurst Drive and east on Forthurst Crescent and south on Islington to Elmhurst. A new short-turn service is also established between York Mills Station and Weston Road, Blondine Loop. September 2, 1980. A new rush hour express service begins operation between Wilson Station and Islington, stopping at Weston Road, Jane and Keele. This replaces the York Mills Weston short-turn service. Service operates every 15 minutes. September 8, 1981. The rush hour express service is extended to Humber College. Buses operate every 12 minutes and pick up and unload at all stops between Islington and Humber College. East of Islington, buses run express to Wilson Station, stopping only at Weston Road, Jane and Keele. January 4, 1982. A new rush hour branch is launched, replacing the south end of the NORFINCH 99 bus and providing a new service on Arrow Road to Steeles. Buses operate from Wilson Station via Wilson, Clazen, Barter, Arrow Road and Signet to Steeles, looping via Steeles, Rothstein, Garriere, Norelco and Fenmar. September 6, 1983. Service is revised, rearranging branches with 96 Wilson and 36 Finch West to provide through service on Weston Road. Service begins on the 96F and 96G branches of Wilson. From York Mills Station, Wilson Station during rush hours, buses operate via west on Wilson and north on Weston Road to Steeles Avenue, looping via Steeles, Barmouth and Ormond, 18 hours a day, Monday to Friday only. This replaces service on the A and D branches of 36 Finch West. The 96A, Rumike, branch is replaced Mondays to Fridays by the new 118 Finch via Allen route, but continues to operate on weekends. The 96B Milvan Drive branch is replaced by the E branch of 36 Finch West. January 5, 1986. The Rush Hour Express service is extended from Humber College to Humberline and Albion, operating via Humberline, Finch, Humber College Boulevard, John Garland, Martin Grove, West Humber, Brookmere, Elmhurst, Albion and Wilson. Service on Finch and Humberline west of Humber College Boulevard is now provided by 118 Finch via Allen. 96D buses leave Wilson Station from 7:04 a.m. to 9:27 a.m. and from 2:20 p.m. to 6 p.m. Buses operate express to Islington, stopping only at Dufferin, Dubray, Keele, Jane and Weston Road. Buses load and unload at all stops west of Islington. Some trips on the fringe of the rush hours, however, run local and serve all stops. September 1986. During the morning rush hours, Steeles via Claydon service is extended east from Wilson Station to serve York Mills Station. Buses leave York Mills Station from 5:48 a.m. to 8:50 a.m. and from Steeles and Signet from 6:25 a.m. to 9:42 a.m. February 8, 1987. Night service established on a new route, 319 Wilson Blue Night, operating over the same route as the Humber College branch. September 6, 1988. A Saturday-only branch is established to provide additional service between Wilson Station and Jane, looping at Jane via south on Jane and west and north on Beverly Hills Crescent to Wilson. February 5, 1989. At the request of the town of Vaughan, a new rush hour branch is established extending service on Weston Road north of Steeles Avenue to Langstaff, with service every 18 minutes in the morning and every 16 minutes in the afternoon. Buses run from Wilson Station via Wilson and Weston Road to an off-street loop at Langstaff. During the afternoon rush, buses southbound will divert via the existing 96F, G looping at Steeles, Barmouth and Ormond. November 20, 1990. Service at the West End revised. Buses on the 96B branch run over the regular route to Humber College and Finch and then continue to run via northwest on Finch and north on Humberline to the off-street loop at Albion Road. Service is provided 12 hours a day, Monday to Friday. May 14, 1990. Service on Claydon Road is broken off onto its own route called 99 Claydon. This service replaces the H branch of 96 Wilson. January 20, 1991. Service on Weston Road is broken off into its own route called 165 Weston Road North. This service replaces all 96 Wilson branches operating on Weston Road, including 96A, Rumike, 96F, G, Steeles, and 96K, Langstaff. On or after this day, service begins on a new 96A branch to Carrier Drive in northern Etobicoke. Buses operate from York Mills Station over the regular route to the Carrier Drive on Street Loop north of Humber College, and then proceed west and north on Carrier Drive beyond Albion Road to loop at the Cul du Sac at the end of the street. Buses operate Mondays through Fridays during the daytime. July 22, 1991. Revised service on 120 Calvington has buses loop via Jane, Beverly Hills and Wilson during off-peak hours. It's possible that 96J, Wilson STN Jane, short-turn service may have ended on this date, if not earlier. January 4, 1993. Service on this route is transferred from Wilson Garage to Arrow Road Garage. On this date, Davenport Garage closed, resulting in a number of system-wide route reassignments. November 22, 1993. Service on the 96A, Carrier Drive, Rush Hour branch adjusted to provide a new service both ways via John Garland Boulevard between Kipling and Martin Grove. Existing Monday to Friday Mid-I, Carrier Drive, service via West Humber will be identified as 96D and the Humber College Express will be identified as 96E. 96A, Carrier Drive, Monday to Friday rush hour buses running between York Mills Subway Station and Carrier Drive will now provide a new service both ways via John Garland Boulevard between Kipling and Martin Grove. Existing Monday to Friday midday, Carrier Drive, service via West Humber will be identified as 96D and Humber College Express service will be identified as 96E. October 1993. 96, Humber College, buses running Monday to Friday evenings and all day on weekends via Humber College Boulevard, Finch and Humberline. 96E Humber College Express buses will continue to provide Monday to Friday rush hour service into the Woodbine Downs industrial area. February 14, 1994. A new 96C rush hour branch inaugurated, operating both ways between York Mills Station and the Islington, Albion intersection via west on Wilson, through Wilson Station, west on Wilson, northwest on Albion Road and east on Arcot, looping counterclockwise via Tandridge Cress, Arcot, Albion Road, Thistledown Boulevard, looping clockwise. Then northwest on Albion Road and north on Islington looping via Barkwin and Wardlaw. This branch will provide a new service into the Thistledown area, replacing a branch of 59 Maple Leaf. February 19, 1996. New Monday to Friday short-turn rush hour branch running between York Mills Station and Jane Street, looping via Jane and Beverly Hills. Buses will be signed 96F, Jane. February 15, 1998. Rush hour service restored on Clazen Road, 2 years after the cancellation of 99 Clazen Road. Buses on the new 96G, Clazen, buses run from York Mills Station via Wilson and Clazen Road to loop via Huxley and Barter Road. 96G buses run every 10 minutes in the morning rush and every 30 minutes in the afternoon rush. Rush hour service on Beverly Hills Drive, 96F, is removed. On this day, 96B, Humberline, buses are revised to run via Humberline Drive between Humber College Boulevard and Finch Avenue in both directions. 96B buses will no longer run on Finch Avenue between Humberline and Humber College Boulevard. No change to trip times. September 6, 1998. Wilson Express 96E, Wilson STN Humber College, route is changed to reduce travel times. All trips on this branch operate on Elmhurst Drive only, between Islington Avenue and Brookmere Road and will no longer operate on Hinton Road or Harefield Drive. There will be no change to trip times, headways or the number of buses on this branch. All service on the 96 Wilson local branches and on the 319 Wilson Blue Knight routes will continue to operate via Hinton Road and Harefield Drive. February 14, 2000. The destination sign display for westbound buses on the 96G, York Mills Clazen, branch is changed to include mention of Jane Street so customers are able to know that the bus travels that far. January 7, 2001. 2 school trips currently departing westbound from Madonna Secondary School at 2:50 p.m. and 3:20 p.m. will be changes to depart at approximately 3:18 p.m. and 3:25 p.m. to better serve the new dismissal time. February 12, 2006. Service rendered accessible using low-floor buses on all runs. February 19, 2007. The west end of the 96C, York Mills Station, Islington via Albion, branch is changed for a trial period to shorten the route and improve the reliability of service. The 96C will now terminate at Thistledown Boulevard and will no longer operate to Islington Avenue. All service will be removed from the on-street loop via Barkwin and Wardlaw. The last day of service to Barkwin and Wardlaw is Friday, February 16, 2007. November 23, 2008. New off-peak service on John Garland and to Humberline Drive and Carrier Drive areas on the 96A Wilson, York Mills STN Carrier Drive via William Garland, and the 96B, York Mills STN Humberline and Albion Road, branches. New off-peak service also operated to the Tandridge and Thistledown areas, 96C, every 30 minutes from Wilson Station. Peak period service will continue to be operated from York Mills Station and Wilson Station. Service to this area will be provided by eastbound bus before 3 p.m. and by westbound buses after approximately 3 p.m. New service to be operated on Torbury Road and on Barter Road north of Clayston Road during rush hours only. This service will be provided by a revised 96G Wilson, York Mills STN Barter and Torbury branch operating from York Mills and Wilson stations. In the AM buses run from York Mills Station, west on Wilson, through Wilson Station, west on Wilson, north and east on Clayston, north on Barter, south on Arrow Road RTO Shepherd, east on Shepherd, north on Oakdale Road, south on Torbury Road, south on Jethro Road, east on Wilson, through Wilson Station and east on Wilson to York Mills Station. Routing reversed in the PM rush. This new service operates every 17 meters 30 seconds during the AM rush and every 21 minutes during the PM rush. February 15, 2009. New service will be operated on Westmoreland Drive on Saturdays, Sundays and holidays between approximately 12 noon and 1000 p.m. Service will be operated by new 96D, York Mills STN Carrier and Westmore branch replacing 96A, York Mills Carrier branch. This new service will run from York Mills Station over the regular route to John Garland Boulevard, then in both directions via west on John Garland Boulevard, west on Humber College Boulevard, east on Finch, north on Westmore Drive and west and north on Carrier Drive to cul-de-sac north of Albion Road and return. No change to service levels. May 9, 2010. Service on the 96B, Humberline and Albion branch is diverted from Humberline Drive onto Clairville Drive in both directions to serve Baptist Sri Swaminarayan Mandir, a temple and museum at 61 Clairville Drive. The TTC staff report issued on February 17, 2010, suggested that buses operate northbound via Humberline Drive before turning west and north on Clairville and east on Huddersfield back to Humberline, returning via the reverse route. But the January 2011 ride guide shows the service operating entirely on Clairville Drive instead. By autumn, however, maps show the service operating on Huddersfield as planned. No change to scheduled departure or destination signs. May 8, 2011. Service is reduced as part of a series of cuts system-wide resulting from a budget reduction by Toronto City Council. Late evening service is eliminated on the 96F, Tanbridge, branch and Sunday and holiday evening service is eliminated on the 96C, Thistledown, Tanbridge, branch. September 1, 2015. Service through Humber College is slightly rerouted to use the newly opened off-street bus terminal at the college. No change to service levels or destination signs. October 11, 2015. Late evening service on weekdays is increased so that, outside of rush hours, service between York Mills Station and Kipling Station operate at intervals of 10 minutes or better whenever the subway is open. Weekend late evening service will be increased to this standard in the November board period once seasonal service to Canada's Wonderland on the interlined 165 Weston Road North route ends. The increased rush hour service, which will bring the whole route up to this standard at all times, will have to wait until 2016 when sufficient peak buses are available. March 27, 2016. To simplify branches on this route, service on the 96E, Humber College, Express bus is replaced by the 186 Wilson Rocket. Local 96C, 96H, Thistledown, and 96G, Torbury, branches are also replaced by the 118 Thistledown and the 119 TORBARRIE services. June 18, 2017. Weekend and holiday morning service on the 96D, York Mills STN, Carrier and Westmore, is changed to operate instead as 96A, extending service via Finch and Westmore. No stops are missed on the 96A branch, and service levels remain the same. There is no change to the overall schedule times. Sunday, April 1, 2018. Destination signs are revised on this route to add letters to the 96B and 96D branches heading eastbound to Wilson Station. The signs are further revised effective Sunday, May 13, 2018, to add, via, points. Sunday, May 9, 2021. Due to construction taking place at York Mills Centre, the TTC bus terminal serving York Mills Station is closed for a period of 3 months, starting on this day. 96 Wilson buses are routed to a temporary terminal set up in the parking lot on the northwest corner of Wilson and Yonge. No change to scheduled departure times or destination signs.
I hope that you liked the video. If so, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed and want to be notified of new videos that are released, please click on the Art Toronto button here. This is the video that I would recommend for you to watch next, and I'm sure that you're going to love it. Here's the playlist for all of the latest in transit news and views that you're going to find very informative and interesting. And finally, here is the latest video. Thanks for watching and happy transiting.